Hey, so yes, we have started recording. And hi, Mom.
Hi, Joshua. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, how are you?
I'm
Did I
doing
already ask that?
good. I got some new reading glasses.
Okay, yeah, they look awesome. So,
Thank you.
yeah, what is that bright? It looks like you got the sun like in the living room with you over to.
Oh, oh, wow. The curtains are like, wow,
Okay, that's fine. I mean, it makes you look like you're,
an angel.
yeah, like you're sitting in heaven.
There
And
you go. Is it
like,
better like that?
no, it's fine. It's not blocking your face.
Okay.
It just looks very ethereal. So we'll go with that, you know.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I'm very glad to get you on this platform, and to to get you on here and talk to you about the project that I have coming up, the projects that you have coming up, and just to generally um, catch up with Mom.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, how are you? What's going on?
Well, getting ready for dinner, and I'm going to do a smoked salmon pasta. Of course, you know I'm a foodie,
Yeah,
and I'm going to do some peas with mushrooms and shallots. Doesn't that sound good?
that sounds great. I do have to say, yeah, a big part of my creative upbringing is whatever you create, on the you're very crafty in the kitchen, you know.
Yeah.
And I could tell that there was a tremendous amount of expressive energy, going
Yeah.
into whatever you're creating there. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, I use cooking as a therapeutic tool.
Hmm.
I mean, and a lot of people don't understand that. Sometimes people are like, "Why are you in the kitchen? Why are you in it?" Because I just want to say, because I just need to be in my own little space with my fabulous knife and my vegetables and my smoked salmon and stuff like that that I've started making, and I just love it. And it's a friend of mine. It's like a unique ethereal, spiritual friend of mine. Cooking is.
Okay. You know,
Yeah.
the visual was okay. It's unfrozen, but it was frozen while you're
Yeah. It's
passing
doing that
on.
on this side too, for you too, every once in a while, like every
Okay.
15 seconds.
Okay. So we'll not get caught up in that.
Okay.
Yeah, um it's funny because I was thinking about, I think I mentioned to you before, like the two virtues in my perspective are the two virtues I strive for,
Uh,
are kindness and clarity. And
yeah.
clarity has been something that I've been inspired by Dad, um,
Yeah.
when it comes to not being caught up in, you know, just being clear about my whatever information comes in. And kindness has definitely been inspired by you. I get a sense that you enjoy making people feel good. I
Mhm.
remember going to the grocery store with you, and that still
Yes.
happens today, where you stop and you talk to the cashier and they know you
Yeah.
very well
Yeah.
because they're used to having 15-minute conversations with you.
Yeah.
And I get a strong sense with even with your business ventures, your solo business venture that you created, that there was a passion and an understanding of something that you do very well. So
Yeah.
talk about that.
I I I went into Oaken Berries in 1999. Didn't know what was going to happen or how I was going to do it. And I did go from venue to venue until I found something that actually fit. And I ended up at the Museum of Miniatures, Dolls, and Toys, which was a perfect fit
Mhm.
because it allowed me to entertain grown-ups who loved classic toys and people who are having children bringing their little girls in for fairy teas and manners teas and things like that. They would walk in and they would expect fun and understanding. You know, little girls needed to learn that you have to use your manners here. This is a place. where pinky shakes live and curtsies abound. And they loved it. It was just amazing that these people embraced it so much, and adding to that a little flavor and a little tea and lemonade just made it so special to watch everyone enjoy it. Red Hat societies, they were just amazing. They were like locusts. They would come in, they'd clean me out and love it and leave. I was honored by that. So, honorary Red Hat lady a number of times.
Yeah, I can, again, I have many moments where, and I still say this to people that, that again, your deployment of kindness to people, like I could say to, when I think about you, to everybody that's not your family, you come off as the nicest person in the world that they would ever meet. you know,
Oh, really?
yeah. Like again, like
Wow.
you just, and I want to emphasize, everybody outside of your family, you know, like
Yeah.
I definitely, had moments where like, wow, she's being really nice to 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 this person that's passing her this brief interaction,
Yeah.
and again, like I think within me, i I have the same instincts,
Yeah.
I have a desire to be positive and pass a positive perspective on to whoever I engage. And
Oh, yeah.
I think in this age of social media and of internet interactions and so on
Yeah.
and so forth, it's it's really easy um, for people to get swept up in negative interactions into and yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
I that energy that you've passed on to me feels so necessary in this day and age.
Well,
I go ahead.
oh, it comes out in your work. I I I have a glimmer in my eye every time I see any of your pieces. And I want people to see this. And I take such pride, and this young man is is my son. And he is just his mind is just so amazingly uh, into what he is doing. He's very intuitive, and he just allows his art to embrace the human condition. And I just love that about everything that you do. I I'm just very honored that you're a part of my life. And you should always know that and hold that dear, because you always will be.
I mean,
I Your sisters are amazing. I don't think I could live without them. The three of you are just magical because you're all so unique in all your talents and all your life expectancies of what you want to do in your world. I love that diversity in my family.
yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, thinking about what Jesse's doing right now. I'm about to get ready to collaborate with her on a project.
Oh, wow.
With I mean, did she tell you that she's we're working on a project with the Kennedy Center, and
Oh, don't let her tell me, okay?
okay, I mean, yeah, I'm surprised like that she hasn't
I
mentioned
want to hear
it.
your part though. Tell me.
I mean, it's a project where she was reached to compose a piece, and it was connected to the George Floyd incident, and yeah, they decided that they wanted to go in the direction of creating an NFT for it, and therefore they were going to bring in visual artists, and um, yeah, she mentioned my name, and people were like, "Yeah, let's see if we can be involved," and
Wow.
I'm involved.
Wow.
so yeah, I'm working on that right now. I'm trying to pass them something within the next week or so. But
Okay.
anyway, yeah, I when it comes to creating, and I love the idea of collaborating with Jessie. You know, like
Yeah.
she's such a uh definitely one of the top creative visionaries in my life, you know, and I very much look forward to whatever she has to offer. Yeah, she passed me a video of of the project and how they've created a sort of a promo for it up
Oh
front.
yeah.
And it's really, yeah, it's really cool, you know. So I'm looking forward to pass it on to you, you know, for
Okay.
sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
with um with you and your writing, you know, like I know that you've been trying to dive into that more, especially I guess during COVID. You know,
Oh yeah.
I feel like you've reached out to me and, you know, and said, I have some writing. You want to hear it? And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
you know. So how is writing? How's that creative process been for you?
I I'm I'm actually considering getting back into the Lighthouse, which is a writing institution in Denver that I went through before, and that's where I got my first, I'd say, 2 dozen poems.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the group situation. So since we are moving on from COVID, hopefully, I'm looking forward to getting back into that recess of writing again and making it part of uh, a, an enjoyable moment, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna write, you
Yes.
know, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna go outside and take a walk, and I'm gonna talk to my phone and and get myself inspired by nature more, which I already am. You know, I'm a birdie. I just love birds, and I've been watching what's going on in the bird world these days in wintertime, and just taking little drives and finding pelicans in Denver, which is a rare thing and magnificently beautiful to
Mm-hmm.
see. Um, the robins this uh, in the fall were nuts, and in the winter there were. I don't know what you call a group of robins. I will call them a clutch of robins. There were dozens between 4 and 5 o'clock in the front yard, just bouncing around and bobbing their heads up and down on the ground. In the trees, I was going for a walk and I counted in the branches. There were like a dozen robins. On the ground, there was another 8 to 10.
Those
I was
crazy
look.
clutches.
It was just, and they weren't leaving when I was walking past them. That's because they knew that I'm their friend. So
Yeah, yeah, you're a bird whisperer for
I'm
sure.
a bird whisperer.
Yeah.
But I had to look up to see why were robins collecting and staying in the winter
Mm,
instead of, because as we were when we were kids, all of us, we learned that robins fly to the south, and the first sign of spring is sing a robin. That
yeah.
has changed. I believe that's
Yeah.
because of global warming.
Oh, that
Um,
is because of global warming. Yeah, but I think that is you know, being a kid now, you know, you're learning totally different understandings of biology, you know, and
in nature.
biological behavior, you know. So, and
Yeah.
I think that there's, you know, yeah, like I could see, you know, the potential in you creating a program. Yeah, that's the thing, you know, like I'm you know, as I think about the possibilities, you know, you even mentioned like the idea of you doing like a series of monologues, you know,
Yeah.
and attached to your writing and more storytelling, more just
Yeah.
relaying your experiences, you know, and like me knowing your experiences and knowing the the challenges that you went through in order to uh
Yeah.
well to to be a mother of three kids, to manage your, your career flow and the places that you've worked, and
Yeah.
even thinking about, the work that you've done over the years and how every job was an attachment to your kindness deployment, your,
Yeah.
like I could think of every job that you worked, and it was an effective use slash just an effective uh conduit
Yeah.
vessel of you wanting to uh make make the world warmer, with your interaction.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's something, again, there's just something really cool and valuable about that.
Yeah. Teaching,
Yes.
waiting tables,
Yeah.
concierge, owner of a tea room. Uh,
Even like sung telegrams for a little bit, right?
yeah, oh, yeah, I did that. I
Yeah.
was a singing telegram lady.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I remember you coming home with songs,
Dressed
and
up
I'm
as
like,
Zorro,
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
real Zorro.
But again, like there's something in watching you over the years, do that just made, you know, like, yeah, I think I remember you sort of having a regretful saying, I should have went to school. So the reason why I'm doing all this is because I, I didn't go to school and did get a degree, but in hindsight, like you absolutely were in a particular study. You're managing a particular study in human interaction
Yeah,
that passed on to us,
yeah,
and I think that there's a lot of value to that.
yeah. Mastering the art of kindness. Mastering. I always said kindness was my religion.
Mm-hmm.
I, I I don't know if I could say that in public or anything like that because everybody's so sensitive right now, but I really want to get a t-shirt that says kindness and then it's my religion on the back and walk around and take pride in that because
Sure.
I mean, I think the entities that have created the universe would appreciate that more than me saying, oh dear Lord, I love you so much. If I practice what the teachings were, which seem to be not as recognized anymore because people want to have their own idea of what religion is in their own heads. Again, I think as doing the best thing in your heart
Mm-hmm.
that you can do and in your mind,
Sure.
it's it's spiritual, it's a little bit of everything. You gotta, whatever's going to make you healthy in your heart and mind, and if that's going to be uh, goodness towards others, then let that be the pill you take to make you feel good around other people.
Well, I know, like in our conversations, as we talk about kindness, as we talk about compassion,
Hmm.
you know, in our conversations, there is a struggle with you being kind to yourself. And a lot of people have that struggle, like
Yeah.
it's easy to deploy kindness. It's easy for you to deploy kindness when thinking and compassion, when thinking about other people's, yeah, I remember conversations with you about, or hearing you in conversations about somebody who slighted you or somebody with whom their behavior
Yeah.
was an attempt to hurt you, and I can hear you being able to be compassionate and think about that person uh just having a bad day, or that person just having a bad life,
Yeah.
um but there is something there's something valuable in taking that same energy and turning it inward and stopping and being there for
Yeah.
whatever bad feelings that live inside, and
Yeah.
so
And a lot of that angst and anger in people, it it is not of racial divide, it's humanity. You know, I've had men in my race, just because I'm not moving fast enough in my car, flip me off with both hands off the wheel. And it's like, I feel sorry for you because I don't know what's going to happen over the next couple days, but it's not going to be good for you when you get that ticket. So, or if you hit somebody,
Sure.
or, just peace be with you. You
Yeah.
know, I just, it, 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 it hits you like a little bit of a lightning bolt because you want to be angry. And it's just too much energy to do that.
Sure. Yeah, it's a slippery slope. That's I feel the same way. Yeah, like there's definitely been times where I'm walking down the street and a car goes by and honks at me or does something, and you feel that I need to find a rock. I need to throw this rock at them, and then you recognize that that's some sort of primal childish,
Yes.
impulse that, yeah, it's inner children rushing,
Yeah.
that are like trying to take control of the situation. And that's when you have to be compassionate to yourself. You have to
Yeah.
like say
Yeah.
it's all right to be angry, and that person was trying to pass particular energy to you, and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
worked. And you have to decide that you're going to
Yeah.
let that energy diffuse
Yeah.
into into something else, and i
Yeah.
think i think again, having that program of liking kindness,
Yeah.
liking, liking being kind to myself, and liking
Yeah.
uh the people that I interact with feeling better,
Yes.
so
Yes.
as I'm diving into this this Olgaruth project, I know you mentioned to me that you want to spend a moment to talk about Olga and talk about Ruth and
Yeah.
pass along memories. And I don't know if you
Yeah.
have funny stories of either or both.
Yeah. I would like to take time to do that the next time we talk because we're going to do this again because right now I'm enjoying this. And I just want to step back a second to what we were talking about when people are angry with you. You know, it's about the math. Do you want to do division or do you want to do addition? It's all in how you put that together. Do you want to divide the situation and make it angry, or do you want to add to it and say that person needs help? Let's give them a plus, and hopefully they will take it. And you just send them on. Maybe that thought, that little spiritual thought, will follow them, and they'll feel good about themselves before the end of the day.
Well,
I'm
I,
not placing bets on that, but
I agree with that, but I also think, to add on to that being compassionate with yourself, you realize I don't want to put myself through the torture of thinking that
yeah,
I'm not worthy of respect or love.
yeah,
And I'm seeing this as evidence of that. I don't
yeah,
want to put myself through the torture of of reliving past trauma that this is triggering me into. Like,
yes, yes.
yeah, like when somebody does that, if somebody says something at the grocery store to me today and I have a reaction, I know it's tied to me when I was age 12 having a bad interaction, and that little guy that lives inside me is suddenly saying, see, this is what I learned. This is what I
Yeah,
learned. And you have to say, yeah, but you've had more experiences since then. You've met good people. You've had more lessons in compassion and how valuable that is. More lessons in just
yeah,
recognizing that human beings are fragile,
yeah,
and anytime a person is flipping you off behind the wheel or stepping on your toes
wow,
and telling you you deserved your toes to be crushed or
yeah,
whatever, is a is an angry inner child coming to you,
yeah,
with whatever
You know
experience
what story?
they
One
practice.
thing we're gonna do short 30-second stories. Okay. I want to bring up the pumpkin patch.
Okay.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that one in
I don't know
Montbello?
what you're talking about.
In Montbello, where the little 4-year-old came around to the house, and she was cute, barefoot, and I picked a little pumpkin and I gave it to her, and she ran back home, and we got in the car and left. And she brought all her little friends, and I'm assuming that she just told them the lady around the corner is giving away pumpkins, and
Yeah.
they came around the corner and took all of them.
Yes. So that is an important lesson in boundaries.
Yes. But
Yeah.
you were devastated, Josh. You were like, are you kidding me? You were not, you just stood there and stared like someone, had just stolen all your babies.
Really?
Yeah, you did. You were upset.
How old
And
was it?
I really bad. And I think one of the things I did was I went to the store and I bought like 4 or 5 little pumpkins and I put them in the pumpkin patch, which didn't heal you at all, but it made you feel good that I actually tried to do something. But it's like, it's not the same. You
Okay.
were smart enough to know at 8 years old, this is not the same as raising your own pumpkins and picking them yourself and taking them in the house and feeling good about it because you planted the seeds, you did all the whole thing. Getting
Sure.
some store-bought pumpkins and throwing them in the garden is not going to make me feel any better.
Yeah. I don't remember. I do remember people stealing from that
Yeah,
garden that we had in Montbello. Like
yeah,
you and dad raised zucchinis, pumpkins,
yeah.
raspberries, grapes, all sorts of stuff. And yeah, people came in our yard and was like, "Hey, open grocery store. We're just gonna." They wouldn't even take it home. They would just eat it right there. And it's just like, okay. So, um, yeah, I do remember that garden, and I remember it being again a lesson in compassion and, like I said, boundaries, and recognizing that sometimes you give an inch and people take 15 yards,
Yes.
and you have to,
Yeah.
like, okay, well,
And
we
one of those yards is yours.
exactly, you know.
Oh,
So,
good.
but yeah, in terms of this bringing up stories, um I don't know, like there's a lot of places to go
Yeah.
with
Memories are
talking to your
good.
mom and diving into the stories that that
Yeah.
that are at hand. Depends on what we want to.
Yeah. It's like watering your roots. When you talk about something like that, it's like taking the spirit picture and pouring on top of the story that you're telling, the memory that you're telling. It
Mhm.
cultivates it, it makes it stronger, and it's easier to pass on.
Sure,
That's how the history of storytelling is. You
sure.
cultivate it, you tell it to other people, and you share the good and the bad, and
Mhm.
you enjoy each other. And all you've done through your teen years. I mean, I've got some amazing teen year stories about you that have made me honor you in so many ways because you were such an amazing young man. You didn't think I thought that a lot. I mean, but that's a teenage and young mom. I mean, I was a pretty young mom, so for us to share, but it was wonderful, and I'm just very glad to have you in my life, Joshua Caleb Mays.
Yeah, no, I'm honored to be your son for sure. So when are you going to do the video series? That people will be waiting for, and that I can pass to for people
Okay.
to tune into
I'm
lessons lessons on kindness from Roxanne Mays.
okay.
And the
All
Kindness
right.
University, the Kindness Institute from Roxanne Mays.
Well, let's take a minute and reflect on what we've done right now, okay? And listen to it. And uh, this is the seed to the evolution of the next story. How does that sound?
Okay, I mean, I mean, it's it's your project, and I'm excited for you for it to drop. You know,
Well,
so
I appreciate you making me so comfortable. I mean, just having it just be the one-on-one for right now. And I was very nervous to do this.
I know.
I had a lot of anxiety. I was putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And I used to say to myself when I was younger, I said, I want to be a stand-up comedian. This would be fun. That's another thing that I wanted to do.
You could have done it. You could do that. You could still do that.
Yeah, I could be a mom's Mabley, huh?
Sure. You know, you could do, you know, I saw a video about Grandma Moses and how she started her art career at 80
Yeah,
something. So
yeah,
so yeah, you can start any path you want, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, the phrase that popped up in my head as I got the text from you, like, hey Josh, can we put this off another week? And I'm just like, no, no, we can't. Is uh per- perfection is the hiding place. Perfection is the hiding place of the insecure, you know? So if you're waiting for things to be perfect before you
Yeah,
put it out there into the, and there's in our reality, like with responding to you about this, like I'm recognizing with this Olgaruth project and with
yeah,
certain chapters that I'm passing on to people, with the videos that I'm creating, with the promos, like
yeah.
I feel a nervousness and I'm judging myself too harshly in
Oh,
them.
oh,
And
okay. I
and
understand.
and the voice that I had with you of like, no, put it at, let's do this. It's just a matter of doing it, and we don't have
Yeah,
to overthink it. I'm
yeah,
telling myself that, like, as we
yeah.
speak, and I'm so anyway, yeah, I
Well,
think
it would be interesting to tell you stories from Olger that I mean, it would be my Old Testament when it comes to my mother and my mother-in-law between Olger and Ruth. And it was the dynamics were amazing because both families had these interjected issues, and at the same time they were totally different families.
sure.
And just the stories of learning how to bake from my mother-in-law when I was 10 and 11 years old.
Hmm.
I didn't know what the future held.
Yeah,
And then learning how to bake from my mother, who was a really good baker, but she had this staunch,
she had a different
I
teaching
want to
style.
teach you how to cook. Huh?
Yeah, she had a
Totally
different
different
teaching
teaching
style.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah, she used to say that when I was stirring something, I was unwinding because I was left-handed.
Okay.
You're unwinding the batter.
Like it's all going back in the boxes. You're
Yeah,
like, yeah, the flour's getting dry again. The eggs are going back in the shell. Like, no, go this way.
I
Yeah.
didn't understand it. I didn't know what she was talking about. I'm like, I'm unwinding. I was the only left-handed person in the family, so I was doing this bass backwards.
Yeah. That is so funny. But
and
yeah, no.
then Harold's mother was, you take a half a cup of sugar and you just take your hand and smooth it off,
Yeah.
pour it in the bowl. Roxanne, I want you to crack 2 eggs. If you get shells in it, please take the shells out and whip it with a fork. And it'd be like, wow, this is so different. I could live with her forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was my mother's like, get your ass in here and wash these dishes.
Yeah. No, it's interesting how different, you know, both of my grandmothers were.
Yeah,
If we had a day where we went uh from grandma Olga's from dad's mom's place to your mom's place or your mom's
yeah.
place, it's like a culture shock as a kid. Like you're like, what's going on? Yeah, like you go into grandma's house, grandma and grandpa, and it's like, shh, come on inside. Grandma's sitting and it's all like walking into a hallowed
Yeah.
space,
And
Grandma's all,
grandpa's preaching again. So sit
yeah,
down.
grandma's preaching, and there's distant gospel music. It's like, and they play like white people gospel, so it's very,
Yes.
oh, it's like hymns are being like, and you just came in and you're just like, you for some reason just didn't want to talk above a certain decibel. Then you go over your mom's place and it's just like, hey, get your ass in, like there's hey, Roxy, and Uncle Tracy's there cracking up, and you know, it's just there's such a contrast with when I really think about Olga and Ruth and the spaces that they held for themselves
Yeah,
to,
they were different planets. They were
yeah,
totally different planets.
absolutely, so yeah, super intriguing to dive into. We should definitely have a conversation exploring those contrasts for sure.
Yeah, I've got a dozen stories. I mean,
I'm
for
sure you
each
got more than a
line.
dozen. Yeah.
Huh? Oh, I
I'm sure
have.
you got more than a dozen.
They're just, and I don't know. Wait, we're gonna have to wind this up right now because I want to fix dinner and I want to finish the movie that I was about to watch. And what time is it where you're at?
I mean, it's time to wind it up, So
This was Be Still My Heart.
yeah, it wasn't as hard, or it wasn't
No,
the challenge that you placed in your head, of what it would
yeah,
be, right?
yeah, yeah.
So
I put on a nice shirt and I got my jewelry on. Check it out. Look at this rings and
yeah, no, you look great. Like
oh,
I put on a clean t-shirt
yes.
and yeah, I cleaned my glasses. So
Oh my God,
uh,
really?
but yeah,
Yeah, they're usually kind of cloudy, and I'm like, what kind of, does he have like one-way glasses where people can't see his eyes and, they're not sunglasses, but they're,
no, that's my mystique. I decided to clear the mystique for this one. So, but yeah, no, I miss you. I love you. I thank you so much for spending this time and taking your time and chatting it up
thank,
with me.
thank you for taking the tiny little pin and popping that little flower bubble. And I feel like I've flourished.
Okay,
It didn't hurt at all. The pin didn't hurt at all.
okay.
Appreciate that.
It's sort of a weird analogy that we're riding on right now, but
Yeah.
I'll ride with
Well,
that.
we can edit that out. That's pretty good. Yeah.
No, that's my mind doing crazy things, and my bad to anybody who's listening who's cracking up right now. But
Yeah.
but yeah, no, this was
We
this
might
was
have to share
this was
this
an
with
awesome
people.
part to my day.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel really, really good right now. I feel kind of just a little free right now. I'm
Good.
going to go outside and take a little walk. We had a snowstorm that was beautiful yesterday.
Okay.
And then guess what your mom did?
What?
Three kids, two boys, and their sister came to the door and said, would you like us to shovel your walk in your driveway all the way to the mailbox and then up to the neighbor's house for $20? I said, wow, you got a price and everything. I
Hey,
said, hold on, let me.
hold on. The sound went out. Hold on. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
A little girl and smart. And I said, so are you the supervisor
Can
of
you hear
this? She
me?
goes, yes.
Rewind to $20. The
Okay.
sound cut out for a little bit.
Okay. They said, we'll do your driveway, the sidewalk all the way from one side to the mailbox on the other side, and it will be $20. And I said, wow, you've got your own price? Okay. I said, let me talk to the manager in the house. And I went and asked Harold, I said, is this cool with you? He said, okay. I said, okay, this is the deal. You will do the porch and you
Oh, hello, hello.
price are here. And she goes, of course. It was so cute. She was like 7, 8 years old, and she just jumped on that. Well, of
The line
course.
paused again. I hate to do this to you. Rewind back to I will do the porch.
I'll slow down.
Yeah.
The
Or
the
do it quicker.
the boys, okay, the boys were giving what they were gonna do,
Uh,
and I said, okay, now you need to do the porch and the driveway. You got that?
yes.
And the sidewalks all the way to the mailbox. And they said,
Yeah.
okay. I asked the little girl, I said, so you're the supervisor here? And she said, of course.
Yeah.
And she's like 7, she's younger than them by
Yeah.
2, 3 years. And they started shoveling.
Yeah.
And I put on my shoes and I put my coat on and my sunglasses on and I pulled them up like this. And I said, okay, let's inspect this. And I walked around and I looked at the sidewalk and I'm like, good job. And I said, let me go see if you did the to the mailbox. I said, impressive. And this one kid said, excuse me? I said, very impressive. I like it, without a smile. And I said, okay, here you go.
You're trying to be one of those people?
Yes. I said, here's your payment that you asked for. But since you did such a good job, and I had 12 brand new $1 bills, I gave each of them a $4 tip. And they were like, wow, we're here during the summer and the fall. And if you have anything else for us to do, I said, slow down, slow down. You know, we're going to have to do this right. Next time, I want you to come with recommendations. I will give you a recommendation. Okay. You need to type it up, even if it's just mine, bring it back to me so I can see it, which is kind of wonky, isn't it?
What? What are you giving them? What recommendations are you trying to receive? They're like, what? Lady, we're just trying to mow the lawn. Yeah.
If they're going to be entrepreneurs, they need to do it right. You know, they want, if they're little and they're cute,
Sure.
people are going to hire them, you know? I really appreciated them. They were
Yeah,
very,
no.
thank you, ma'am. I said, my name is Miss Roro, and you can call me that. And they said, okay, Miss Roro, thank you. We really appreciate your business. And I said, thank you for your business. And they
Right.
walked away and they waved, and the little girl waved, and they
Yes.
walked home.
Good job on supporting the young hustlers.
Yes.
They will own the world very soon.
They
And
went immediately to 7-Eleven.
I mean, that's what I did when I was 7. I was like, yeah, we're getting soda pop, we're
Yeah.
getting chips, and we're turning this. Yeah, we're getting Snickers bars. So,
And Slim Jims. We have to have something salty, you know, something salty to go with all that sugar.
yeah. So anyway, good story, Mom. Thanks again. Thanks for supporting the young hustlers out there. You know,
Okay. They
and
were very good.
I will. Yeah, we definitely got to do this again. You know,
Oh,
I'm
definitely.
super pleased with the result and
Okay.
very
Do
excited
some editing. I want to hear it, but I want to cut down to a half hour at least because we've been here for almost a full hour or so.
I mean, we'll cut out like there are parts where it literally the sound and the video paused and the sound
Yeah.
cut out, and I was just
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah. But
Yeah. I
um,
understand.
all in all, I think the product. I'm excited to share this. You know, so again,
Okay.
I'll
All
let you
right.
go. You're about to get creative in the kitchen. You know, for dinner.
Oh yeah. Smoked salmon pasta and peas and mushrooms and shallots and sherry sauce.
Do videos of these recipes, by the way. I'm sure people are going to be like, that sounds too awesome to not find
Yeah.
out how to make that. So
Yeah.
be ready
A
for that
a lot
demand.
of times I think
Yeah.
about you and your no meat, red meat. I think about that a lot. And Harold and I are into like not doing a lot of red meat. We rarely do. I think the last we did a little bit for New Year's Eve. It just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
I wanted my smoked salmon.
Yeah.
You get
Well,
your body gets used to that having the red meat.
yeah. But I feel
I
like
have a
we didn't really go hard on red meat anyway. Like
well,
I remember like maybe beef stew a couple times a year as a kid.
yeah,
But in general, like it wasn't a big transition for me to
yeah,
have more ground turkey, you know, in my life, you know, have more ground turkey and chicken sausage in my life, you know.
yeah.
So
That was good.
So anyway, yeah, we could keep extending this into various little small talk, but
Okay.
let's just save those for the next call with the have.
Okay.
So
I
thank you.
look forward to the day we can have tea together again, and you can hold my hand and walk across the street.
Okay, that sounds good
All
to
right.
me. So we'll keep in touch about that. Thank
Okay.
you again very much, Mom. Enjoy the evening, and
I
yeah, thank
will.
you so much.
Thank you. I love you. Have a good evening.
All right, you too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.